Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay. Now, what's going on here?
We're standing at the entrance to the UNB Woodlot that's off of the Knowledge Park Extension Drive, and we've just put up a memorial to all of the small frogs that were several days because the frogs were trying to cross the highway. So we put out a series of small crosses, and we've designated, in their memory, we've designated this crossing as Croker's Crossing, and this is to highlight the development that's taking place in the woodlot that's being so damaging to both the plants and the animals. Development that hasn't been very well thought out. In fact, it certainly looks to us as though the road is interrupting an obvious wetland. You look over there and you see that there's bulrushes, there's all kinds of plants that are very typical of a wetland, and they're on both sides of this highway. So, of course, the frogs that live in the wetlands are trying to cross the highway in order to get from one part of the wetland to the other, and that's what caused the mayhem.
Is that a wetland there?
Well, it very likely was part of a wetland, and now it's disturbed and would be what people would call a drainage ditch. But that's what happens when you build a highway across a wetland.
So what's going to happen here? They built the highway from one part of the city to connect to the other part. Are they going to develop this land now, or what are they going to do?
This is part of the first phase in development that the university has undertaken, and this first phase is 240 to 280 hectares. It's going to be commercial, like you see. We're just a stone's throw away from the Corbett Center, named after Corbett Brook, which is basically a big box development complex, and that then connects through the rest of this area, which is slated as development in the first phase. Then in the 7 years to come, the second phase of development has been proposed, and that would see a total of 1,900 acres developed of a 3,800 acre woodlot.
What do you say of people that say university needs money, UNB needs money? What do you say to that?
Well, I think there's probably better ways to go after extra funds, and this development is not one of them.
Not one of them?
No.
So what do you see this woodlot in 20 years from now, if things keep on going the way it is?
This will be a highly fragmented landscape, and people will hardly remember what was here, but we'll be living in an infinitely more impoverished community because of loss of this beautiful green space.
How many frogs got killed here last week? Do you know?
I don't know, Charles. I really don't know. Do you?
And ready, Mark?
There was probably well over 100 by the accounts.
Okay.
But someone came up the next morning and cleaned it all up. So all the evidence was taken away very quickly.
So this could happen again. Did they suggest they should put a tunnel underneath?
Yes, absolutely. If we don't want this to happen again, we have to have some way for the frogs to actually safely cross the road, and so there needs to be an underpass built for them and for other amphibians that are trying to connect between both parts of the wetland.
A lot of animals being killed here. We seen a porcupine the other day. Is there a lot of deer here? Is there other animals?
There certainly are lots of animals in the woodlot, so I think it's only reasonable to expect that there's going to be losses.
Well, thank you. Anything else?
No?
No.
No? You don't have nothing else to say, you?
No, I think it's time for UNB and the city of Fredericton province to have a lot to say about how they're going to manage this sustainably.
The city refused you to appear in front of the Common Council, huh?
Well, why would the city refuse council members to be brought up in terms of all the questions that it rises from burying soil over our wetlands at the top of the hill? And we really need to have council informed as to the need for a comprehensive environmental assessment. And you can see here that there's been no wildlife assessment. Otherwise, you would not get a carnage like this, having wildlife interfered with by a highway.
How come Common Council don't want to hear your concerns, you and Charlene's concerns about what's going on?
Well, to be well informed is to make good decisions. And I think you would have to ask the mayor that, why he does not want his councillors to make informed decisions.
The mayor is only one vote, so there's got to be more than the mayor involved here.
And staff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, here we go. Some more. Who do you work for?
For Stu Journalism.
Stu, journalism. Oh, okay, no problem. Have fun. Okay, guys, thanks a lot.
Okay. Thanks, Charles.
No problem.